people have in their head this idea of the the composer in the garret with a piece of paper and a pencil in a conventional notation form, which then is given to musicians.
Well, the simple answer is you're listening, and attempting to be within your instrument and within your body as a set of ears. You're removing your sort of sense of what structures are demanded of music making. So you couldn't do that in a rock band because you would be disturbing the nature of everyone else's roles, for example.
Often people who've found it intensely personal language on the instrument they play, and improvising is it's like the most natural way to explore that language.
Okay, you make stuff up, but what are you making up? It's impossible just to sort of make stuff up without all this input, all this knowledge. So in a way, as a young musician, I think a lot of us, like myself, learnt a lot about music. We learnt all the structures and the scales and the chords and the systems. And then to do something interesting, you almost have to strip that back. You've got to unlearn it all.
Because we did start it with the Nights at Space 3, the series, If You Like Improvised Music, We Like You, which really did start because we wanted to play uncompromised music somewhere where the manager of the pub wasn't angry that there weren't enough people paying or drinking. I started improvising when I was all alone in the room and finding all these amazing sounds on the instrument, and I'd play them to my teacher, who would get me in trouble for not learning the pieces I was set for homework, and instead spending all this time on making things up for myself. As a harpist, someone playing an instrument that people immediately hear this beautiful angelic As an improviser, I saw it as an opportunity to say, well, I'm not playing it to be this pretty angel, I'm going to make it into this rock machine. And just rejected all of those sounds to begin with and just looked for ways to make it sound like a dirty, grungy, dark instrument, which it can sound like. I always had a problem with people saying that some notes were right and wrong from very early in my musical education. Like, how can a sound be wrong? Clayton started the Splinter Orchestra, which was electroacoustic laptop players, electric guitars, tubas, cellos, and I think that developed this incredible mix. You ended up having these, Western Sydney electronic arts students coming to listen, and these, old jazzers coming to listen and discuss music and make music. And I would say the Splinter Orchestra was something that actually really changed the audience and the kinds of musicians who are involved in that now.
It's sort of that exact line between creating and learning as well is where great music is, and the place where I'm trying to be as a musician. I've always had a sense for what the band could sound like. The vision for that is that everyone that we can as a group sit down and improvise. There's such a big, unwieldy band, and an idea that none of us have ever dealt with before.
We're going to take the shortest possible break while we set up for a 49-piece orchestra in the centre of the room. And can the entire audience move back behind the curtains and, drink beer and socialise?
Maybe the vision is some utopian thing where the band actually can listen to itself and that no one is doing anything to remove someone's focus. And maybe if we can ever do that, then that'll be some kind of magical thing,
When I go outside and perform, you've got to play differently. The music has to change because the acoustics are different and the resonances. I think when those local conditions come in, then the music suddenly changes.
I think the community of musicians here who put on the gigs themselves, I guess us as musicians putting it on ourselves, involving musicians because we work together all the time in different combinations. And everyone plays and listens to each other, and I think that's built quite a community of people who feel supported in the risks they're taking, I think.
Tonight will really be an account of my journey through the landscape of music, multiple sclerosis, radio and the arts, the progress of my MS through the 1980s. While I was doing all these things,
Quite a lot of people came to the first view because they were friends of ours, listened and, maybe weren't that into the music but wanted to support us as friends. And I think about 3 months into it, the crowd really shifted into being people we insisted on coming because we wanted people to listen, to people who came and found it and were fascinated and really wanted to be there, and then musicians who really wanted to play. Immediately, right now in here, we've got Jim Denley and Peter Blamey. I guess over the last 6 years, there's just been this steady stream of new listeners and new players, and it's turned into this, an email list of 1,000 people.
It's really exciting that we get to make music and that the community gets to make music. And to have 200 people, 300 people come and see a gig and deal with those things of such an extreme nature in, bringing their hearts to that and having so much beautiful responses. It's kind of the reason, it's one of the beautiful parts of making music, to have that happen. So that's the thing that's going to maintain it always.
I think there's like a maturity or a confidence that the Australian community of improvisers has now over this years that I've been involved. I've just seen it get to this place where it's just like a big good punch in the face. It's like, this is what we do and this is how we do it, and listen and be amazed.